In this talk series, we first focused on COVID, natural disasters, and the purpose of a human being. In the last talk, we discussed about myself, my master, and the message. And I also announced this talk will be on real and unreal in evolution. This is one of my favorite topics because this provides the template of what I am and who we are as humans in this universe and evolution. My master says, every human has a life after human life, and that is more relevant, real, and should be recognized by every human, no matter whatever faith he or she belongs to. Our human life is a small stage of life in evolution, and we must move on. The core of us knows that journey. That core is our soul. But our mind is playing a game presuming illusion as real. Our earthly life is not real at all. The life after human life is real. In that life, we will not have physical body, but involves a progress with elimination of I ego, which we accumulate so well stealthily in our human life. In human life, we feel wealth, good health, good relations, achievements, etc. are high statuses. Similarly, in post-human life, the I ego elimination yields the high status. It takes several thousand earth years to eliminate that I ego in the post-human life. The same can be achieved instantly in human life if we desire so. The progress in post-human life will be solidified after passing the exam of human life. For that, we have to go desireless and eliminate the accumulation of karma. So, everyone should realize the worth of human life and use every moment of the human life to uplift themselves for better post-human life. That is possible by truthfully embracing godly characters. These godly characters will eliminate the I ego, which is born out of human aware consciousness. The crux of this talk series is to describe that godly character for everyone to live with best human qualities and to attain the best angelic life or to attain the godly state of existence. Having talked about posthuman life and relating it to real and unreal, we will wonder how is it true? For that, we should know the evolutionary life from the basics. That quest will give deeper understanding of why we are humans. So I will talk about evolutionary life now. Our elders generally say, think through your heart for enabling us to do good. Why did they not say, think through your brain? It is because it is a belief that soul is connected to the heart and soul thinks selflessly and loves everyone and everything. Soul applies the rationality to follow justice. By searching inside for the soul, the mind of our saints and sages have scaled up their human-aware consciousness to supreme consciousness. They discovered that soul and supreme consciousness are the same. Both are everlasting. Only difference is soul exists in the core of us, giving us life, and it has all similar properties of supreme consciousness. In Hindu philosophy, soul is called Atman and supreme consciousness is called Paramatman. So, you'll wonder, what is the supreme consciousness? Supreme consciousness is the grand and greatest consciousness existed before the creation of universe, exists today maintaining the universe, and will exist after universe dissolution. There is nothing beyond this consciousness. This consciousness is the origin and the end. We know that fuel and engine is the reason for any automobile to function. Similarly, supreme consciousness is an intelligent fuel and brilliant engine operating behind every pore and rivet of this universe. Supreme consciousness is present in everything and everywhere. Like an engine with fuel enabling the car, this supreme consciousness operates space, every subatomic particle, atoms, elements, molecules, cosmic objects, atmosphere, energies, gravity, and many more cosmic matter and cosmic activities. This supreme consciousness is the reason for the existence of space and matter in both static and dynamic form. This supreme consciousness is constantly performing 4 jobs in the universe. They are creation, maintenance, destruction, and recreation, which is also called evolution. You can see I am using the word evolution carefully for recreation. Evolution needs matter and time as raw material with some intrinsic power to foment the changes. That intrinsic power is supreme consciousness. This work of supreme consciousness is the real reason for the changes in creation along with time as we see it. It is also the reason for matter in the universe to exist as we see today. It is also the reason for nature and environment to exist in earth as we experience. All matters in this universe exist in the form of 5 elements as we see or feel it. These 5 elements are space, air, fire, water, and earth. The whole universe matter fits in space, and that space is operated by supreme consciousness. Air signifies not only the wind or breeze, it signifies the momentum of small matter and invisible energy traveling in space, including gravity and other forms of energy. Fire signifies not only the fire as we know, it signifies the energy creation in form of heat and radiation. Fire also signifies any matter in the gaseous state with the potent to inflame. Water signifies all form of matter presenting itself in liquid state. Earth signifies all form of matter presenting itself in solid state. Supreme consciousness is working behind all these 5 elements, which are called Panchabhutas in Sanskrit language. Supreme consciousness also exists in the mixture of these elements. Everything in this creation is impermanent because it never exists in that state permanently. This impermanent state is due to the supreme consciousness influenced changes by following the cycle of creation, maintenance, destruction, and recreation. With this level of understanding, we should fairly conclude that environment for us to live as a human is provided by supreme consciousness. Let us now see what soul is as was discovered by our saints. A piece of the supreme consciousness disintegrated to become soul. Like supreme consciousness, this soul exists permanently. It does not have death. It is everlasting. It cannot be vaporized. It is subtler than any matter existing in the universe. This soul inherits all the qualities of supreme consciousness. Supreme consciousness exists at the macro level and the soul exists at the micro level. This soul produced thought waves and created astral body with astral organs. This astral body, like soul, does not have a physical form in earth and remains invisible to humans. This astral body cannot be subjected to any worldly properties because it cannot be cut, it cannot be drenched, it cannot be burnt, or it cannot be wet. This astral body has penetrated to mother's womb and created the human body which we all possess today. Similarly, astral body enters all life forms to give life to it. When it exits the life form, then that life form is pronounced dead. So, soul is the root cause for all living beings to exist. This soul constantly displays its finest personality of pure love and perfect detachment. Pure love means loving everything with no preconditions and no return expectation. Perfect detachment means detachment from self-serving or selfishness. If soul has this supreme character, this very same quality should exist in supreme consciousness because soul inherits the properties of supreme consciousness. To understand these characters present in supreme consciousness, which controls the nature, let us analyze the sun rays, wind, oxygen, water, earth, and generally the atmospheric nature which we depend on for our lives. All these matters are doing its job of service selflessly with pure love. They don't choose to serve only certain religions, certain regions, certain people, certain creatures, specific gender, specific human, wealthy or poor, good or bad creatures, and so on. They are detached from all emotions and continuously serve. All the 7.5 billion people in Earth and other species are served by the sun, wind, earth, water with food, shelter, and other essentials to live. These fine qualities of detachment and pure love are present in both supreme consciousness and soul. These qualities are inherited by soul-created mind in the beginning, but over time, due to the free will and physical existence, mind created attachment towards material things, relationships, events, and got captivated with the ungodly characters like pleasures, hurt, anger, revenge, greed, attachment, pride, and jealousy. These self-serving characters in humans are the reason to feel the human I-aware consciousness. This very same self-serving characters are the reason we do not realize the presence of supreme consciousness. From the ancient times, as time rolled to this modern world, human personalities changed more towards self-serving with vigorous material pursuit. This contributed to our environment abuse and human self-centered character. In the aspect of evolutionary description, a subsection of what my master says correlates with Charles Darwin theory of evolution. Darwin's theory says evolution functions with natural selections. Every organism has a physical appearance process. Along with time, the physical appearance process aligned with heritable and behavioral traits. With this much understanding of supreme consciousness and soul, let us look at evolutionary life now. We can understand the evolutionary life better if we understand the makings of astral body. In the beginning, the soul produced thought waves created the astral body composed of astral organs. For us to understand this with our human intellect, we can analyze the mind, which can be felt by every human. In actuality, it is an organ of astral body. Physical body borrowed it from astral body before birth and will remain as an organ of astral body after death. The other astral organs which are present in physical body, which we know but we don't correlate with astral body, are sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, procreation, excretion, speech, locomotion, movements, circulation, metabolization, assimilation, crystallization, and elimination. These astral organs are the reasons our physical body feels the senses, speaks, walks, performs actions with hands and legs, and performs other internal functions like blood circulation, digestion, hormones creations, passing stools, etc. This astral body residing environment, when not in physical form in earth, is called celestial world or astral world. The life in the celestial world is called celestial life or astral life. This astral body in the beginning enters into a life and merely survives with not even some knowledge on securing itself from preserving its life. Then learns its survival with awareness to the environment and impressions of bondage to higher life and die later. The next form of life usually it gets to live in earth is in a higher life form in terms of survival and awareness. In other words, this survival, bondage, and awareness skills can be called as expanding order of I consciousness or I ego. Thus, our saints and sages have found we are first born as maybe a virus, then bacteria, insects, plants, trees, birds, sea animals, wild animals, domestic animals, monkey, and finally to become a human. My master says we all lived on earth for over 10 million years or 1 crore years in different earth life forms. Those life forms in earth were 8.4 million or 84 lakhs in the expanding order of I consciousness, and finally we became a human. My master also says from ancient times the humans and other human-like species existed having purity in terms of exalted personalities in their thought and actions. In this modern world, human personalities changed more towards self-serving with vigorous material pursuit. This contributed to our environment abuse and human self-centered character. My master also says the process of human birth very descriptively, which I am summarizing it here. The astral body, with nature's guidance as per the karma calculations of its previous human form of life, enters from the celestial world into the food stream and gets into the man's body. With union of a man and woman, this astral body enters the mother's womb to give life for a baby as a human birth. The birthplace, region, nation, culture, religion, economic status is all decided by the nature. There is pre-birth agreement between the nature and the astral body to accomplish the intended goal of ridding the karma while remaining as a human. As per that plan, rebirth happens. After birth, this baby lives its life as a child, youth, adult, old age, and finally decays and dies. During the human life, all the problems, happiness, luck appears with nature's support. After human life, that is at the time of death, the very same astral body escapes the human body back into the celestial world. It carries the impressions of past life which had desires, unfulfilled desires, and the hurt and service we caused in that life. This together creates the karma. You will be pondering now what happens then. Let us see that now. In the human life, humans accumulate abundantly the feel of me, the feel of mine, the feel of it's my right, the feel of pride, the feel of objects, events, and people related to me, the feel of it is worthy for me, and generally all the I feel is what we call as I ego at its climax or at its maximum potential. This I ego is developed towards relationships, society, nation, luxuries, wealth, ideologies, sensuality, achievements, and so on. Humans alone have the skills to direct the future path for themselves with their desires and deeds. Our saints have realized the connections between previous life, current life, and the future. They found that based on the desires and deeds indulged in human life, next course of human life, or lower form of earth life, or a celestial life with astral body is decided. They found that another human life is a failure in our evolutionary progress. Another lower form of life on earth is a demotion in evolutionary progress. But a life in celestial world with astral body is the promotion and perfectly aligns with the evolutionary plan and evolutionary progress. Humans can choose the evolutionary path of next stage or choose the path to reappear as human or lower form of earth species with their desires and deeds. Humans have the knowledge to realize that their past thoughts and actions created the present. Likewise, their present thoughts and actions will create the future. Humans alone can comprehend that the present moment is important to control the future. This cannot be expected from a lower life form like trees, insects, birds, and animals in earth. Ancient times, the knowledge among people was with the soul consciousness. This knowledge gave birth to astrology, philosophy, and even had ancient medicines as cure for the disease of ancient times. These saints and sages even had the power to manipulate the 5 earth elements to navigate the earth's nature for the benefit of humanity and other living beings. There was a total harmony in ancient people's life as they operated their life with love, sharing, giving, and selflessness. As time passed to the current modern world, our reliance on material things became the mainstay, and those ancient knowledge on soul consciousness largely vanished. Our human goals have transformed today to accumulate wealth for ourselves, our family, and our future generations, ignoring the Mother Earth's survival and paving a harmonious life for the future generation. We call the saints and sages as enlightened because they scaled up their human-aware consciousness to supreme consciousness by searching for soul within them while leading a human life. If we pass this human life with no physical karma and promoted to lead the astral life that aligns with the evolutionary plan, per the evolutionary plan, after human life with the separation of astral body which has no physical form, it must remain in celestial world. There too, every astral citizen life will have a celestial karma, and that needs to be eradicated to merge with Supreme Consciousness. Because of the I ego stain infused in human life, even after completing the physical karma, there is an I ego component contributing to celestial karma. This karma must be removed with astral body in celestial world. This celestial world has 7 stages of I ego removal. These 7 stages of life can be categorized as 7 astral regions in celestial world. In celestial world, with the astral body, every astral citizen will take efforts in removing the I ego to the fullest to merge back into soul or supreme consciousness. Removal of I ego is the better status and progressive life in celestial world for every astral citizen. As the I ego is reduced in celestial life, astral citizens will attain an angelic state to perform service by governing the earth environment and the various life forms living in earth. These astral citizens are ancestors who once lived on earth. They have exhausted their physical karma and conquered the rebirth in earth. They serve the people and earth environment. Proportionate to the good characters of people, matching the godly characters, people in that geographical block in earth will receive the blessings with the intensity of sun rays, intensity of rain, intensity of wind, etc. These governing astral citizens are none other than our own ancestors. These ancestral astral bodies govern the earth nature and atmosphere of people of those respective areas and serve them with the pinpointed accuracy. They bless them with the comfort matching the good characters of the people. My master calls this celestial world as Arul Ulagam in Tamil language, which can be translated as blessing world. Due to our stain with ungodly characters in this modern world, these ancestors are not blessing us. Several rivers have disappeared or disappearing in earth. It is causing severe drought to many places in earth. Glaciers are melting fast. Sea levels are rising. Blessings are not arriving from them due to our behavior. This can be corrected by good characters of people matching the godly characters. We will discuss in detail in this talk series later about the godly characters. These ancestors have attained the supreme state of godly consciousness or closer to that state with their drastic removal of I ego. These ancestors plan the evolution and implement the evolutionary plan in Mother Earth by continually administering it. Such ancestral elevated souls belong to every religion existing in the world. These elevated souls remain in the celestial world and shower blessings on humans whom they see fit to elevate them to the higher state in the evolutionary plan. Such elevation will earn accolades of progress in spiritual journey. These elevated souls can serve from that state until the earth life is keysed for all living beings by the divine source. So, as a human, when we indulge in selfless services and selfless sacrifices, matching the godly characters, we earn the higher reach in celestial world after human life, because that validates and proves the I ego elimination. With all I ego elimination in the final stage, this astral body vaporizes to merge the soul back into supreme consciousness. This merger is also called we are becoming God. One should understand now that the difference between God and human is humans have the I ego and God does not have it. One will wonder then, what is God's personality with the absence of I ego? These are the personalities identified as methods, brick by my master, as the spiritual methods, which we will see in the later part of this talk series. We should understand that God exists only as supreme consciousness and not in any physical form as we may imagine. This journey of astral body from innocent beginning with personality of pure love and selflessness in the first earth life form to the human form with fully expanded I ego was a spiritual journey named as Tara. This journey of astral body life widened the gap of mind and soul from its closeness in the beginning. The gap between the soul and the human mind is at its widest state, and effort needs to be taken to reduce this gap. Humans alone have the special intellect to lead a life of free will by choosing a material life progress with expansion of I ego, or by choosing a spiritual life progress with reduction of I ego. Choosing the spiritual life path will reduce the gap with soul consciousness connection. After human life, there is no other higher earth life form to understand this logic, and hence the human life is a very important life to navigate the spiritual journey in the right path. That is why my master says humans are gifted with fully developed astral organs and physical organs. Humans have the ability to gain the knowledge and work towards curtailing the use of physical organs and use the celestial organs belonging to astral body. When reliance on physical organs is reduced, celestial organs will awaken automatically for any human. This action by any human being reverses the widening spiritual journey or takes a U-turn to reduce the widened gap between the human mind and the soul connection. This is possible only for one earth life form, and it is only the humans. This spiritual journey reversal is called Radha. Today, if we ask humans to change the direction from Tara to Radha, it is a paradigm shift for many humans, and they will resist. Their reluctance to believe this logic of absolute truth is due to our current human lifestyle. This was natural way of life for ancient humans, especially in India 6,000 years ago. In this modern world, humans have developed affinity for material consciousness, which is posing a bigger threat and a challenging impediment for humans to realize supreme consciousness and also to understand this logic. Every sincere current day spiritual master is finding this as a challenge to influence the humanity in the direction of spiritual progress, which is the nature's expectation as well. What happens after human life is based on our desires and deeds in the current life. One destiny is assured for every human. Everyone will get there willfully or forcefully. Willing ones need not have to endure the pain. Forced ones will face the nature helping them with its wrath. We all can see the logic of COVID and natural disasters now. Remaining in celestial world with astral body after human death permanently will be a gift and nature's will. But that is possible only with the elimination of physical karma in earth with human body. What we mean by physical karma is the cause and effect principle enshrined in the constitution of creation. The physical karma is what we talked about, the past creating the present and the present creating the future based on cause and effect principle, or what we sow is what we reap. The humans with intense I ego will indulge in selfish desires and deeds contributing to their accumulation of physical karma in earth life. The humans with lesser I ego will indulge in selfless deeds, reducing their karma. The humans with no I ego will have no physical karma to come back to earth life. Per this karma load, the astral life destiny is decided. This is our evolutionary process. After human life, the ambition for high status in celestial life will be ridding the I ego which we accumulated so well stealthily in our human life. There are gradations in the celestial life in the order of I ego removal existing as 7 states, which we already looked at. Best are the ones with no I ego, and better are the ones with lesser I ego. Worst are the ones with I ego. If that I ego elimination effort is taken now as a human, that will uplift the landing in the post-human life to a superior state. This is the grand truth in the evolutionary process. Willfully ignoring the knowledge of ridding the I ego will be forcefully pursued by each of us in the celestial life or after reappearing in future as humans or other form of living being in earth. Therefore, it is our duty to acquire this grand knowledge and work towards the goals of higher stature in celestial life. The byproducts of this effort, if taken as a goal in human life, is 1. We can avoid coming back to earth as a human or other living being by ridding the karma. The second byproduct is we will have a possibility of post-human life revelation in our human life itself. We all should understand that our human knowledge ends with the human life because of its temporary nature. The spiritual knowledge we acquire as a human by following godly personalities will be the grand knowledge and will remain permanent, extending beyond the human life. And that knowledge is proportionate to the riddance of I ego in us. We talked before about nature punishing us various ways after tolerating all our abuses. Though it appears as punishment for a human mind, after leaving the human body, the departed soul will remain happy and grateful to the nature. If a good spiritual progress of I ego elimination has happened in the human life, departed soul will be happy as it is a good milestone achieved for celestial life. If no good progress of I ego elimination happened in human life, departed soul will still remain happy of nature's action because more negative impact to spiritual journey would have been a severe retrograde for celestial life. Let me now conclude this topic with so much we delved into for understanding the real and unreal in evolutionary life. So we should clearly understand that our physical body is superimposed with more permanent astral body, and that astral body is empowered by the presence of everlasting soul. This soul is as old as supreme consciousness. This soul is ageless. This soul is deathless. It existed before Big Bang and it will exist after universe destruction. Our same astral body has penetrated into all the earth life forms sequentially and give life to it, then gained the knowledge on survival capacity with awareness to environment. Finally, this astral body became human. After human life, we all have to remain with astral body in celestial world and eventually merge into supreme consciousness and become God. So, we should understand that we are the reason for all our problems today. Together, we can control the future by correcting ourselves. We can decide and manipulate the nature if we elevate ourselves by ridding the I ego. We have the power to eliminate COVID and other impending natural disasters. With this much of brief discussion on real and unreal in evolution, I'm hoping it will convince the listener in knowing our human life and beyond, and correlate it to what is truth and what is false. We learned the evolution and the onus is on us to decide what should be our goal in life. In the next series of talk, we will have the topic, the message of truth.